well, stage number 9 so far, chasing rather openly, I must say. Out the bottom of that hill section comes the 102. That didn't look particularly tidy from Ollie Forrester, and that could already be the 2 seconds of advantage gone on this stage.
Yeah, whether he just missed a gear or caught the wrong gear coming out of that bottom right-hand turn, I'm not sure. Or is there a problem for that car?
Have to keep an eye on that one through the rest of the stage 9, also 10, let's not forget, that's coming on the same layer. Mackenzie Snowden is into McIntyre's. That looks like so a couple of incidents in quick succession there, as back towards us comes Mackenzie Snowden through the second and into the trial with complete and utter commitment. Brilliant from Snowden.
Yeah, Snowden. Oh, and he also goes on to the grass and it makes it 2 out of 2 on the grass. So both cars making their way onto the grass.
Henry does this then, because the 104 has already done this. This is the first car to come round for the second time to this part of the road. And Henry's on the grass as well. None of them on the road.
Yeah, they're just honestly everyone pushing so hard, and one of them is going to end up in this tyre well, and another one onto the grass.
That's Ollie Forrester, rally leader, made a mess of the exit from the hill section, and now he's on the grass, so had an opportunity to claw back and
One 4 cars in the grass, and interesting to see Will William Patterson do the same on his second time around.
Item will be the next one through, the 107, also on his second pass of the trial section. This time I reckon entered an awful lot wider. We'll be going for a later apex. How does Alfie handle the exit? Oh, 2 wheels onto the grass, not quite the whole car this time, but again, it's catching people out there going downhill.
Yeah, if the juniors are doing this, just think how hard and committed the 2-wheel drive is.
I'm particularly also looking forward to the Rally 2 machines because they'll have the grip, but they will be very fast there, which makes the margin for error incredibly small. Over on the hillside, a couple more cars have joined the fray. It includes the 106 of Thomas Babb and Karen Tate Logan making their way up there, and another
car onto the grass. That's car 112 of Gregor Reed and Simon Mills on the VW up, exploring and cutting the grass.
They would have been set up actually for a really good run at this stage. They run third in the rally. Alfie Letton, we know, had already been onto the grass. There was a chance to make some time up there, but no, they may get another car to join that one. Bounding over the gravel goes 108. That was properly out of control before we approached the concrete tabletop. There's a rut there that caught some people out yesterday when we were running this stage in reverse, and it's doing the same this way round.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're just about to get times through for the opening of cars here on this stage 9.
The first couple have come through, we'll get the times in just a moment. Mackenzie Snowden across the line now, and the first one we see, William Patterson, 5:15.
Yes, we're going to be interested to see how much thanks to speak once again. So just wait for the time. Yeah, it's 5:15. Yeah, from William Patterson. Let's see what the next.
Oh, and the Peugeot's off now. 117 again. Exit of the tri-oval. It's obviously tempted to go in there quite hot, and I suppose as long as you don't put it in the wall, like not lose too much time on one of these if you keep it absolutely pinned on exit. But they are struggling to maintain front-end adhesion through there. We're going to get the next car through. This one is learning from its mistakes. That's the 112 that was off earlier on.
Yeah, so the time's beginning to roll on through. So car 101 was a 5:15. It's the quickest so far. The second quickest is car 104 with a 5:20. So a 5-second gap here in this one. Next is the car 102 with a 5:23. Next is the 5:24. So very, very tight.
What that's going to do is, regardless of how many places up Henry Kimball and William Patterson go in this stage, it means that they're now separated by just the 1 second from each other. The 2 recovering cars with rally-winning pace that have made mistakes or been involved in incidents on the rally so far. At the top, however, Ollie Forrester and Mackenzie Snowden. It's Forrester from Snowden by 3 seconds now, rather than the 2 we started with prior to stage 9.
Yeah, very, very tight at the top of this rally, and really expect to see some exciting stuff in stage 10 because they they will all be throwing caution to the wind and expect to see some more agricultural grass cutting as we see, one of the cars dropping off. That's the 111, getting 2 wheels off the track here.
Yeah, more incidents. and not victims being claimed, but grass being cut up on the exit of the tri-oval then. One for us to watch, as we say, throughout the next running of this stage, because it's something that a number of drivers have done twice, including actually that VW that we just saw. I believe that was the second incident there. We're going to have the Peugeot back for another go at some stage. Next up, we've got the Toyota Aygo. Citigo stays on the track. How about the Aygo down the bottom, also staying on the track? So maybe the co-drivers, they've adjusted the notes now, and the drivers know what to expect a little bit better as well.
Yeah, really difficult corner that. So it drops away from you, these front-wheel drive cars. So a lot of understeer.
All the way from the entry, actually, is the next car that enters is extraordinarily committed once again. What's it like on the exit? That looks just about perfect to me. Really, really nice line there from the 108 of Ollie Poole.
Yes, a stage win because there have been mistakes from the front three guys.
There has. Still 5:15, the best time of the stage for William Patterson, who lies on PM was also at that point in the circuit. He was the first one we saw, in fact. So 5:15 the time to beat. Thus far, nobody's actually getting particularly close to that. It's 5 seconds back to the 104 of Henry Kidwell, who's also down the This first year front run is 5:23, some 8 seconds off the best time of the stage.
Yeah, that's fairly significant, isn't it? So that just shows the time lost by getting onto the grass. And then maybe the second time round being a little bit overcautious and not pushing on hard enough.
Tell you what, I think I'd have been overcautious the first time. The commitment to even end up on the grass there with the throttle fully bent is vitally impressive. The 114 is out of shape as it bounds up towards the concrete tabletop, then it differs off towards the left, and that was a lovely line from the 110 that time through. The Aygo, you go, it's sorted out and is going.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll be on their second lap and they will make a bid for the timing. Beam on the start-finish straight.
Here comes my favourite shell in the competition, at least, the Nissan Micra. Now an iconic shape. I'll give you that the later ones aren't particularly attractive as machines, but I do quite like this early model Micra. Slightly boxy, as we say, from an era before the Citigos and the VW Ups and the Seat Bs. Now at the top of the hill, and as we've seen throughout the whole rally, not necessarily the fastest car, but neat and tidy.
Yeah, really neat and tidy as we come down the hill here into the left-hander and right-hander at the bottom and along the straight onto that nice clean tarmac. It hasn't cut up at
all. No, not at all actually. Back on there, it's still provided plenty of grip. The Micra is out of shape, however. That's the rut we were talking about earlier. The 120 crew of William Thornton and Neil Jeffrey finding out what the cars before them found out, and I'm sure none of them will repeat on the next stage as the rear took off between the concrete and the gravel.
Yeah, certainly I think there is a little bit of a line. If you drop your near side into the gravel early rather than high on the tarmac, yeah, nice of a ball.
Keep an eye on that as we go through as well. I'm particularly interested to see how a few of the really quite springy, older historics get on in the senior rally when we get to that point. Nicely done, however, and almost illustrating your point there, Kenny. Darcy Morrison and Susan Shanks in the 121. Absolutely no bouncing at all, but kept it pinned nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. Just keep a little bit lower than the other cars.
So keep an eye on whether anyone else cottons on to that, whether anybody's been watching along as the times have been coming in. 5:15 still time to beat, and it has not been beaten. 5:30 for some of the recent runners as well, and a particularly good, I think anything sub 5:30 on this stage is proven to be a very good midfield time.
Yeah, and we have another car taking evasive action. That's the car of 115. Yes, just didn't quite manage to make the corner and really struggled to get out of that heavy grass because there has been quite a bit of rain during the week here. So, grass cutting is going to be very, very difficult for Knockhill gardening crew.
Notable result in this one that we've just been able to see actually is that Alfie let him in the 107. 5:32. He was trying to catch Gregor Reed in the 112, 5:29. So the gap between second and third was pinned up by a few seconds rather than coming down, which means first to second is 3 seconds, third to fourth, 5 seconds. Both of them increasing just a little bit with one stage to go for those guys.
Yeah, so we've had 14 cars through, and tripping the time we've been so far. This is car 102 leading the way from 103 and 112.
I'm pleased to say, the Yaris is back. After 2 mechanicals, the Toyota Yaris makes its way. It's already through the first half or so of the hillside section, and is now leaping up that ridge over the concrete. And I'm astounded that that car is still going. 2 pretty significant would it be told, and yet somehow it's still taking air off on the ascent up that tree ridge.
Yeah, it's just fantastic to see that car back out on track. A lot of work has gone in during last night and today to get it out there, so let's just hope they can have a really good run here at stage 9 and 10.
Let's keep an eye on the Yaris over these ridges that we've seen so far. It does catch the bump there, so it's clearly a matter of millimeters and centimeters, because to me from afar that looked very similar to what we've seen before, so just a little bit offline, causing the rear end to kick up into the air, which will maybe not make you lose time, but it will make you lose a little bit of confidence as you then try and get the thing turned in over the tabletop. The Yaris down past the shelter area. We've got a number of our competitors right now actually, including that Micra, which just made a lovely line through the tri-oval.
Whoa, as you say that, I've got another car, the car 123, also getting its wheels off the black stuff and into the green stuff. Yeah, so I'm so interested to see how the seniors cope with this one.
Not quite as easy as ABC, clearly, this tri-oval at the moment. I think is one, as you say, to keep an eye on. I actually wonder if we're going to see the same incidents in the juniors next time round, because there's obviously a lot of time to be found there. It's worth noting for anybody who's not here at the circuit, listening in online, for example, we don't have a chicane after the tri-oval before you get to Clark Quarters. That is a flat out run there, and so there's a lot of time to be gained if you can carry an extra mile or two or out of the tight left-hander.
Yes, that was a really nice line from the car 121, which is driven by Darcy Morrison with Susan Shanks next to him.
As easy as ABA. So the 125 comes into the tri-oval once more. That one VW up. Exclamation mark. Eventually I'll shout that, but I feel like everyone needs to go home first. We don't definitely go for the tannoys. And it is a relatively neat line, albeit exactly the point we're illustrating just they're exited with a couple of miles an hour less speed than they would have liked, and as a result will be slow all the way down to Clark Corner.
Yeah, so as you said, it's the 1-2 between Gregor Reed and Mackenzie Snowden. 1:17 the gap between second and third, but then Alfie Letham only 5 seconds back on Gregor Reed in fourth.
Already the front runners beginning to prepare for their run at the final stage of the day. I'll get you up to date with the times before that, don't worry, but still a couple of guys out there completing stage number 9, including that Yaris that we all love so much, and somebody getting a little bit out of shape down at McIntyre's actually. They'll curl their way up through Duffus Dip, however.
To start their final stage of weekend, stage 10, as we have just the final couple of cars concluding this stage 9.
I suspect we'll get stage